Hey guys, this is Matthew and we're back with another sort of basic tutorial in Alice 3.1. So we're using the Mars surface and we've already covered how to set up scenes. Now we're going to go into, I'm just calling it rotating things, and that's basically how to make wheels turn, how to add basic motion and stuff to your vehicles. So we've set up this scene and I'm going to make this a little bigger just so we can kind of see that. Okay, so if you want to select an object, what's really nice is all you have to do is click on it. You can click on this drop down menu and choose the object from there, but what's a lot easier is to just click on the object themselves or itself. So I'm going to choose the red rover, and then what we want to do is we want to make it be able to be controlled by a keyboard and be and have the wheels turn as it moves forward and backwards. So I've already done a video called keyboard control, Alice 3.1 keyboard control. So I'm gonna rush through the setting up the keyboard where the arrow keys move the thing forward backward. I'm going to do it here, but I'm not going to really explain what I'm doing, just so that you can so that we have enough time to do the important part, which is showing how the wheels turn. You can go back and look at the other video if you want, and I'll post that in the comments section or in the description section of this video. So I've already added this key press listener just by going here and keyboard key press listener. So now I'm just going to add 4 if statements just nested inside each other, and I'm going to add the keyboard controls really fast just because I want to get through this so we can get on to the other part. So just adding these in, right and down. And then I'm just going to add in procedures for moving and turning. So if you hit the up arrow key, we want it to go forward by a meter. If you hit the down key, we want it to go backward 1 meter. And then if you turn left, or if you hit the left arrow key, we want it to turn left 1/8 of a turn. And turning right, we want it to turn right 1/8 of a turn. Again, just go back and watch the video that explains how to do this if you didn't get all that, or just rewind the video or go backwards and see how that was done. So now if I hit the run key, and then the arrows aren't going to work by default because this pause button is selected, so I have to click the screen to select it. But now if I move the arrow keys, see, I can move forward and backwards, but notice that nothing's happening to the wheels. If I go to the left or to the right, in real life you'd expect the wheels to be turning, but I haven't set that up yet, so nothing is happening as I'm running it. It has all the keys working, it just nothing is happening. So what I'm going to do is first we're going to have to go over to another window and kind of look at what motion we want, what motion we expect. So I'm going to click on this sketchbook, and I've already got this. So when the rover moves forwards, we expect the wheels to kind of turn like forwards. All 4 of them are going to kind of turn forwards. When it moves backwards, going this way, we would expect the wheels to kind of turn backwards, just go in reverse basically. And then we'll come back to this, but when the object turns to the left and to the right, there's going to be some of the wheels will turn forwards and some will turn backwards, and we'll get to that. I'll come back here and kind of show you what we're doing in a minute, but first let's take care of the forwards and backwards. So what you do is you click on your rover to select it, and then in procedures go all the way up to the top, and under red rover hit add procedure, and we're going to call it rover move. Click OK, and that'll open up a new procedure right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say So we've got the rover selected. So what I'm going to actually do is click on this, go to Red Rover and choose front left wheel, go down the procedures until I find turn, drop it in, and we'll say move forward by, or no, turn forward by, say, a half a turn. Then I'm going to go choose the back wheel, do the exact same thing, turn forward by a half, and then in the same way do the other two wheels. Just turn forward by a half, and the last wheel, turn forward by a half. So if I go back to my initialize event listeners and I take that and I click on the rover, see that this rover move is already created. So I can take that and I can drop it into the move forward. When I hit the up key, it's also going to move the wheels. So let's just hit run and see what happens. So if I go forward, the wheels sort of turn. But notice that it does one wheel, then the other, then the other, then the other. So that's not exactly what I want. So I'm going to go back to rover move and see how all of these things, it says do in order right here. What we need is we need those to all happen at the same time. So we're going to move down here and there's a do together. We'll just bring that up and then drop all of these in so that all of these functions happen at the same time. So now I'm going to go back to initialize events, and actually I've already added this, so I can just test it out. So now when I go forward, it moves forward and then all the wheels turn together. So the wheels are turning together, that's good, but we don't want it to move first forward and then the wheels turn. We want those to happen together. So the way that we change that is in here in these key press. Notice I have first the Red Rover moves forward and then the wheels move. I need to add another do together right here so that the moving forward and the wheel movement are happening at the same time. So now when I click forward, or I'm sorry, I have to click on that, and now when I hit forward, they move together. Now notice it's not really working with the backwards yet, so what I would have to do then is go click on the Red Rover and create a couple other functions. Red Rover, move backwards, turn to the left, turn to the right, and all. If you for the moving backwards, you're going to do the exact same thing that you did here. You're just going to set backwards on this one. But for the left and right, that's a little interesting. So we're going to cover that. Just you should be able to figure out how to do the move backwards because it's exactly what we did right here. And I'd suggest if you want to test this out, do it by testing out the moving backwards. So we're going to go over into that other window and kind of do a little drawing so we can kind of visualize what happens when it moves to the left and right. So we'll just cover what happens to the left. So I'm going to get rid of these, and when it moves to the left, what happens is these wheels move in this direction and these two wheels move in this direction, and these two, like when these wheels are moving here and these are moving here, what happens is that's what creates that movement off to this side. It's kind of like these are moving back, these are moving forward, and so the whole object kind of rotates around. So what we need to do is we need to set up where when we hit the left arrow key, these two wheels move backwards. So the left front and left back move backwards, and the right front and right back move forwards so that the motion looks correct. So we're going to go back into Alice, and we're going to click on the Red Rover, and we're going to create, or we're going to add a procedure, and we'll call it turn left. So that'll open up, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to go into, like we did before, we're going to take the wheels and we're just going to drag them in. And So this one is the front left wheel, so we want that one to move backwards a half a meter. We're going to go into the left back wheel, and we want that one to turn backwards a half a meter, and then the other two, we're going to get those and we're going to have those turn forward a half a meter. And the last one, have that turn forward a half a meter. And again, remember, I have to click all of these, just put them in a do together, or it'll happen one at a time and not all together like we want. And then I have to go back to initialize event listeners, and I have to actually add this into when we turn left. So I'm going to click on the red rover. It brings up all the procedures for the red rover and the turn left, and I'll drop it right here. And remember that this is still in a do in order. So if I want these two to happen where it moves and it turns left and the wheels turn left at the same time, I have to drag a do together up here and drop those in one at a time. So I'm going to drop those in there, and now we'll just click the run button, click on here to deselect the pause sign, click there, and then when I turn left, you can see that the wheels actually look like they're turning in the correct direction, so that it actually looks like the motion is correct. So we set up the wheels to move forwards, and it'll be exactly the same when you're moving backwards, but that's up to you if you want to create it. And then we set up the moving left, and so now if you want, you can go in and do the turning right for yourself. So that is how to set up wheel movement. There's a couple other, or there's a bunch of ways you can actually use this that'll really help you out. Say up in scene setup, say if instead of this Martian rover we decided that we wanted to do an alien spacecraft. I'm just going to type in alien. There's this UFO. Say we wanted that one to, the only way that it moves is it spins. You could set up a function that always spinned whenever you did the movement, whenever you hit the forward key, and that would be one way to do that. Another way is, I believe there's a helicopter, and by default the top won't spin when you're moving it, but you can set up a little function just like we did, or a procedure that this will always spin whenever the helicopter is moving. So this tutorial was just basically to help you set up and figure out how to get things to turn so that the movement of your characters or objects looks more natural. So we'll continue with another tutorial next time, and I hope you liked it, and good luck with Alice.